Hi, welcome everyone to Beyond Our World, or should I call it Beyond the Crypt. Tonight we're going to be sharing some ghostly stories, and these are going to be given to us by our guests, Alessandra Nadudvari, or should I say the Mistress of the Dark, and John Edwards, with his whip in hand.
And the Tomb Raider.
Indeed. All right, so we're going to have a great time tonight, everyone. And we hope that you guys will call in. I do have the phone line going so that you can call in and share your stories with us. All right. So let's begin. I think John has some interesting stories to share.
Yes.
Not Gettysburg, do you not?
Yes. Can we look at that little piece of footage from Gettysburg?
Certainly.
Excellent.
All right, so let me get it brought up here. This is a very interesting clip, and you'll have to look closely. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to make this full screen here. And here we go. Now, pay attention to around the cannons. Aye, we love the cannons.
Yes. And this is after 20 minutes of footage.
Holy crap. Down by the canyon, see that?
Oh, what is that?
Wait, shit. Oh my God. Is it?
No way. What is that?
I have no friggin' idea.
Did you get that on the camera?
It's recording.
Oh my gosh. Did you see that?
Did you, honestly?
I wouldn't believe it unless we recorded it.
Aye, that was pretty interesting, was it not?
It's true. It's very scary, Jeff. Let's just face it. That whole area is commiserate of lives gone and sacrificed on the battlefield. And let me just say, it's one of the creepiest places I've ever been.
Wow. Alessandra, do you have a story that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I like the Knights Templar, so I could share a couple of Templar ghost stories with you. So there are two places in Europe that you can actually visit, which is what I like. That's what I would like to do one day too. One is a place called Cressing Temple in Essex, England. It's a place where they have the world's oldest, largest timber-framed barn, and will actually belong to the Knights Templar. So it still stands. It's like a museum now. It's a wheat and barley barn, a beautiful timber frame building. And outside Cressing Temple, there's a lake and sand pits. And apparently that's where the Templar ghost appears. He looks like a knight on horseback, and he just rides by. He kind of manifests from the mist. The mist comes from the lake, and he's inside that mist.
I think we have a picture of that.
Yeah, he has been photographed.
I'm going to share that. All right, I'm going to bring that up. Now, check this out, folks. This is crazy. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up right here. Take a look at that. Go ahead, Alessandra.
Yeah, so that's him. You can see that he's riding. I think there used to be some kind of a road there. So there's a tree on the left and a horse that's right in front of that tree. Can you see the horse's head?
Oh yeah. Yes. I mean, that's the first thing that's the first thing I notice is the head of the horse. And it looks like, to me, it's wearing that armor that a horse would wear on its head, on its face.
Right.
Doesn't it? It does to me.
And then on the horse's back there's a rider. Now we can't see any Templar symbols on him, but I bet that it is a Templar knight. So I can discern his left arm, and he looks like he's wearing chainmail and a coat or some kind of a cloak. So,
oh my goodness.
And then I don't know what those round objects are, if that's just a lens flare or if that could be his shield. I don't know on which side they would have the shield on the left side or on the right side.
That is fascinating.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, you could say it's a mist, you could say it's a, smoke or whatever, but I mean, it has taken the shape of a horse and a rider.
Yes.
And
That's
it's not,
crazy.
that's not, I mean, even the arch of the neck
Oh my
right here.
God.
I mean, look at the arch of the neck. I mean, that's
the horse's mane right there. You can see it flopping
Yes.
down. I mean,
Yeah.
that's creepy.
Beautiful horse.
wow.
Ooh, that is creepy.
I'm sorry, where did you say this was again? What was the name of the
So
place?
this is at a place called Cressing Temple in Essex, England. And it's a museum. They have this huge barn that dates back to the Knights Templar. It was Queen Matilda who gave that land to the Templars in the 12th century. So it was actually quite old.
Wow. That's
Ah.
creepy.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Doreen says, I assume that they would use the shield on their left so they could use their right hand for, their sword or their, if their
That would make
spear or
sense. That would
whatever.
make sense. Yeah,
Here.
yeah.
So, yeah, that makes total sense. Thank you, Doreen. Wow.
Okay. And then you can see the stock. And it's all decorated. It is decorated commiserate of the Ottoman Empire. And it was a spoil of war that was retrieved by forces, European forces, during the Ottoman Empire wars. And I got this at auction. What's really creepy is there's some symbols on here. I'm not going to say what they are out loud, but if you look at the back of the blunderbuss, you'll be able to see some symbols. They are hidden within the artwork, and they're actually a set of numbers.
Oh.
Many sets of numbers, but right in here is a set of numbers. I'm not sure you can see them. Okay. The numbers are associated with dark forces. This firearm, when it was brought into my home, had a lot of negative energy to it. Things started to fall off the walls. Things moved. There's something attached to this. So I put it underneath of about 4 or 5 of my finest antique Bibles and just let it sit. Not that I'm superstitious, but just let it sit. Just let it sit,
not
and not at all. And so it's one of my more unique artifacts. It's a prized possession, and I managed to get this. But when you look at it and you look at what this is, it is really, really a creepy little artifact. With no explanation of what was brought into my home when I brought this in. But many things like this, as you guys know, when you bring in artifacts of where people had living, sometimes they have the residual energy of the owner. And when you bring things into this in your home like this, you're bringing in whatever residual energy was attached to it.
Yep.
And what's
Or the victim of that weapon.
What was that?
The ghost attached to it's a weapon, yes. So
Yes, it's a weapon.
Who's attached to it might not be the owner, but the victim of the weapon.
That's what scares me. Is I think I'm going to end up selling it, only because I'm wondering.
Will you disclose what?
Yes, I absolutely will. But I think I want to sell it. Oh, I mean, be something Hamilton White may be interested in. He collects things like this.
He might be indeed.
And
yeah,
it's
let
funny.
his house be haunted. Sure.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is you see what's going on in the background. Something is in the background right now of my background. My background is getting lighter and lighter, and there's no explanation of why it's suddenly getting lighter and lighter in the background. That's kind of really creepy. I obviously my hands are here. I'm not touching anything, and then you see it getting lighter. I'm not doing a thing. Yes, I have a green screen going up, but why suddenly? That means there's a heat signature or something going on in my background.
Yep.
You see it getting lighter, and I have no explanation of why it's doing that. That's really creepy.
It's standing right behind you, so
something's right behind me, and I don't know what it is, and it has to do with this thing right here. So I just want to say, you know, ghost stories also involve sometimes items and
Yes.
places, and
Yes.
you know how
You-
energies can
you-
attach themselves.
You don't put that thing under your pillow at night, do you?
Absolutely not. You know, I sleep with it. You know, there's at least 6 or 7. Like, I have a ton of antique Bibles. You know, and it's not that I'm superstitious, but you know, you can neutralize things like this with a bunch of prayer and you know what your personal belief is, and but having in the house has been interesting because just different things have happened, and I can't explain why. Unknown why. You know, I'm a man of science. I can't scientifically explain why things have been moving in the house, why things fall off the wall, and why now the green screen behind me has gone crazy. That basically means there's a light or heat anomaly that's happening to do something in the background. I've done nothing. You see it's changing. And my
Yep.
hands are on this blunderbuss right here. So
Well,
just wanted to share that.
Henry DeWitt
Dude.
just said, "You're freaking me out, John. I need a beer."
That's
Do you have-
probably
do you have
too
those- John, do you have those Bibles nearby?
much. I do have them rather close by. I mean, they're right over there.
Okay.
They're on display, but
Maybe a large crucifix.
I think I'm going to go for a minute and put the blunderbuss under lock and key real quick. So I'll be back. I have to handle whatever's in the background, and I don't know what's going on here, but it's creeping me out. So
John, just make sure it's you who comes back, not the other guy.
yes. Well, no, it would be a more interesting show if it was